Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome to a couple of Chase the Ace games in tanks that I haven't really shown in a while, I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever shown an SU-100 game where I'm the driver, which is what we have up first, and the second tank, it's definitely been a while. So, some of you may have noticed something about my SU-100 at the moment. For those who are not aware, I hate this tank. Despise it. Can't stand it. And I hate it even more with the 122mm gun, the big gun, which is what it's currently got. So, this may cause some confusion amongst you. Basically, although the 100mm gun is more consistent and is generally my preferred weapon, I'm playing this to get the ace and then get shot of it as fast as I can. So, if I pick the less consistent gun that produces more extreme results, maybe that would lead to me getting an ace tanker. That was my logic when I was playing the few games I played during this gaming session, and it didn't actually take very long to get to this game. So, we're here on the Mannerheim line. It's a tier 7 match. We're in a tier 6 tank, but there are no tier 5s. So, that's a bit of a shame, because tier 5s can be a one-shot for this gun, so can tier 4s. Although I'm not sure if you actually meet tier 4s with this anymore. Anyway, for those who haven't been noticing, our E25 top tier tank destroyer just crashed. And the Comet, oh I take too long on this shot. The Comet on the enemy team killed our IKV, so straight off we're 2 tanks down, which is not a particularly fantastic start. And now we're just kind of going to wait. And wait. Thing with the SU-100, why don't I like it? Well, it's mainly to do with the guns. So I quite like the Flat Panzer. Again, those of you who are not aware, that might come as a surprise, because it's not a particularly popular tank. And I understand why. The penetration is a little bit dubious, for example. The alpha damage for a tier 6 tank destroyer is nothing special, in fact it's a little low at 220. But what it does have is very high DPM and a very nice DPM alpha damage kind of combo, I suppose. It's very low profile, it's very sneaky. It's mobile enough, it turns on a dime, and it has armour that, while not good, is good enough to get a bounce here or there. The SU-100 isn't quite as agile. The armour is arguably better, but it's very much in the same category of, ooh, Skoda, Skoda. Pew! Yes! The armour, whilst technically better, is very much in the same category of, you don't expect it to work, but it can bounce a thing here or there. You get 20 fewer hit points, and the gun selection. Neither of these guns are particularly reliable. The accuracy on both of them is awful. The aiming stats on these guns is also not great, and they tend to be... well, if you use the 100mm gun on this tank, there is essentially no reason not to play something else, because the 100mm gun on this tank just isn't very good. But, kill. But I could have got that kill with the 100mm gun. That's the thing. But if you use the 122, which is really what makes this tank special, then it's really unreliable, as you saw just there. And that can be quite frustrating. I find it frustrating. I'm not, as a general rule of thumb, I'm not a fan of these derpy Soviet and Chinese 122mm guns. And if I am going to use them, I would much rather be on a tank that's designed to be in the enemy's face and beating them to death with it. Because that's about the only way to use the gun. You know, this is essentially the same gun you get on the IS-6 at tier 8. The difference is the IS-6 has the armour and whatnot to... well, certainly used to have the armour. I haven't played the tank in a while. To brawl and whatnot. Whereas this really doesn't. Really doesn't. And unfortunately that T-52 gets away. And then as I'm moving, the T-34 crops up, and oh, there's the E-25 on the enemy team, who somehow got spotted, and I'm just generally not having a particularly fun time of this. So what I'm saying is, you kind of have to play this tank in a boring way, in my experience, but occasionally that happens. Like, no way that that shot had any right to hit the E-25. It was a very small amount of the enemy tank that I could actually see, but it slaps him in the face, which is just, I guess, funny, if nothing else. Probably best, by the way, to avoid the chat in this game. Our team is... yeah, let's go with salty. That's probably the best way of putting it. They're not very happy with how the game appears to be progressing, let's put it that way. By the way, if you can hear any sort of background noise, it's, ooh, 446. Ooh, that's a lot. It's my little girl who is, trying to get attention from her mummy. Or her daddy, frankly, whoever's listening. She wants attention. But anyway, that was a nice meaty shot into the T-34-100 there. 446. That's nice. It's not a max roll, but it's nice. And that leaves the guy on very low health. So E25 here is right out in the open, which seems to be a pretty terrible decision. I mean, he's not visible anymore, but, I mean, Soviet guns, I miss him when he's stationary and entirely hittable and visible, and I miss him... sorry, and I hit him when he's only got a tiniest sliver of his tank that I could see. Go figure. For some reason there's a Churchill 7 in our base. I think he's slowly poodling this way. Maybe he crashed on load up or something. Anyway, scoreline's 8-8 as we lose another couple more, but there's a couple of tanks on our team who aren't packing a huge amount of health. I mean, that's probably true of the enemy team as well, but it's definitely true of our team. Oh, oh, oh! There goes the T-34-85M. Yay! Kill number 2. But I could have picked up that kill with the 100mm gun. Do you see what I mean? Like, 390 alpha damage is nice to get, but when you pick up the kill shot and they're on really low health, it's more efficient to use a lower caliber gun. But then larger caliber guns can overmatch, and oh, I'm not going to spend all day umming and ahhing about what gun to use. This is the gun I'm using, so we're just going to run with it. There's a rather brave Hell Kitty, who's actually no longer spotted, frustratingly enough. And can we pick out any shots on any of these suckers? Come on, you know you want to. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes made out of your tank hull. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not really sure where I'm going with that. I mean, I guess, yeah, that would make steel toe-capped shoes, I suppose. Thank you for your input, Loki. It's always appreciated. And hello, Hell Kitty. You're not as interesting as my Hell Kitty. Bye. By which I mean my cat. Anyway, he's dead. He had a bad day. And, ooh, the KV-85 over there. Ooh, he's out in the open. I'm just waiting to no longer be spotted. Turns out that KV-85 is getting shot at. Good. Am I going to be able to join in the party? Ooh, I might even be able to pick up a kill on him. Come on, come on, come on. Ooh, 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 go for the punt. Oh, I thought there I'd got the kill, but actually our Su-100M picks up the shot in probably a far more reasonable manner, but close. Ooh, Su-100Y, you're a bit brave. I hate that tank as well. 324 damage picks up the kill there. That's when your 390 feels good. And suddenly we're on to 4 kills, but there's only 3 tanks left alive on each team, and we've lost all our top tiers. So we have to deal with an Su-122-44, with a trio of tier 6s. Yay! One of which, the Churchill 7, as far as I can work out, has just spent the entire match either not doing anything or driving very, very slowly across the map. Well... balls. Right, Firefly, OI, and Su-122-44. Firefly was last spotted over here. We were tangling with him earlier on. Su-122-44 was last spotted in the gully, and OI was last spotted on the other side of the map, so this is going to be interesting. There are less than 6 minutes left on this match, though, and that means that unless we want to draw, someone's probably going to have to get a wiggle on. Please try and ignore the tambourine in the background. Kind of destroys the mood. It's all very tense. Anything could happen. Someone's gonna die. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. Anyway, you don't want to listen to my terrible singing. Right, we're just trying to see if we can find a shot on any of these guys. We don't want to push up too much because, frankly, 580 health does not go very far. That SU-122-44 packs the same, basically has the same gun as we do, but a much better version of that gun. And, T-34-85M nails the OI. So that SU-122-44 could bam one shot out that would shave off most of our health, and then in, I think it's about 6.5 seconds, maybe a little more, could have the second shot on the way. The DPM on that thing is ridiculous. Now, our T-34-85M did just pull a blinder and take out the OI, or maybe he didn't pull a blinder, I have no idea, but the point is OI is dead, and I was spotted by a very brave Firefly, who's not brave anymore. He is dead, and there's kill number 5. I mean, I understand why he'd be in those bushes, but what he really needed to do was spot me, drive far enough back that he was no longer going to get spotted by firing the gun, although, to be fair, I might just end up proxy spotting him. So, I guess he perhaps was running out of options. SU-122-44, now I don't do this very often, but I am loading a PCR for this, so the penetration goes from 175 to 217, because god damn that guy needs to die. And it's top tier in an SU, that is... That can be monstrous. That thing just eats lower tier tanks for breakfast. It is brutal. So, we need any shots on him to connect and to kill. Essentially. Like I said, he can kill me in the space of about 6.5 seconds from full health, assuming he's loaded when we first meet each other, which he almost certainly will be. So, yeah. So we now need to go and find him. We're running out of time. There's less than 3.5 minutes left, and I am damned if I want this to be a draw. I hate draws. They are, in my opinion, the worst result because it generally just indicates someone was too lazy to go and try and win it. Having said that, our T-34-85M doesn't appear to be moving particularly quickly, and as for our Churchill, I have no idea what he's doing. In fact, looks like he may even have got himself stuck. So, we're probably just going to need to go and find this guy, frankly. We're running out of time and options. Bush? No. Okay. Where is he? 2.5 minutes left. We just need to go and find him now, otherwise we're not going to have enough time to do anything. T-34-85M, to be fair to him, is on quite low health. He is definitely a one-shot. But at this point I couldn't help but wonder if this guy has... I don't know. He's not AFK because he's moved from the spawn. He hasn't shot us. Where is he? I mean, maybe he's still down in the gully? Okay, we've got less than 2 minutes left now. But if he was still down in the gully, or sorry, if he were over by the spawn, I would expect to have been shot by now. He must be over by in the gully. Well, either way, screw it. I was planning to just cap this out, frankly. It's the safer play, in my humble opinion. He could be anywhere. That is a very mobile machine. The fact that none of us have died, I find a little bit suspicious, but 2 of us in the capture circle, at the very least, should force the guy out of hiding. I was kind of expecting him to be in some of the there's some slight undulations in the ground behind the capture circle. So I was expecting him to approach from that direction. So that's where I'm looking. And our T-34-85M is driving around, knocking things over. He has a better camo if he just stays still, but never mind. Okay, well, I thought he would have already got a wiggle on if he was approaching from that direction. So, maybe he's approaching from this direction. I mean, are we just going to win by cap? I mean, it's fine if we do, but where is this guy? Oh. Oh, there he is. Sucks to be him. So, being enough for Ace Tanker Fire for effect. Bruiser, that's the one. High caliber and an unexpected top gun. I'm not complaining, just didn't see it coming. 2,442 damage done. 6 kills, 1,130 base experience. Shoutouts should go to the T-3485M on our team. 2.2k damage, 2 kills, 1,000 base XP. It's a good result from him. And the OI on the enemy team, 2,000 damage from him, 3 kills, just not enough for the win. I would also like special mentions to go to R Churchill 7, 275 damage. Not really sure what he was doing there. Driving around a lot apparently. And the enemy Su-122-44, Pet Panther 1944. 0 damage in a top tier Su-122-44. Gosh, the mind boggles. Well, thank you very much for donating a Top Gun to me at the end. That was nice of you. 14 shots fired, 10 hits, 9 pens for that damage count. Mixture of close and long range damage. There, 1 hit received, and it didn't pen. 150 damage blocked by our armour, 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 destroyed, 121 assistance damage, 66 base capture points, 2.31 kilometres travelled, and with a standard account that was a 13,000 credit profit, and 2 bonds and some experience. So actually quite a nice game in the end, and enough to get the ace in the Su-100 and never have to play it again. Game 2 time. Second match then, and we find ourselves here on the Siegfried line, Tier 7 game, 357 matchmaking in the T-20. American Tier 7 medium tank. We could have a good game here. I mean, let's be honest, the clue's kind of in the name of the video. And there is an unusual sight. That is a KV-2 with the small gun. The gun from the T-150. I mean, I played about 3 games with that gun, I suppose, and then decided it really wasn't my cup of tea, something like that. Anyway, let's not focus on the Soviet heavy tank driver using the wrong gun. Let's focus on the T-20. So, I originally unlocked, bought and played this tank ages ago. The American medium line was the first line that I hit tier 10 on. And it was the first line, no I lie, it was the second line that I hit tier 7 on. I believe I had the Tiger P first, or maybe I had this first. I can't quite remember. Either way, this was either my first or second tier 7 tank. And I didn't really like it, and I wasn't that good in it. I mean, let's be honest, it was early days. I mean, I wasn't awful, I suppose, but I was deeply mediocre. And I'm not claiming to be particularly great in it now, and I still don't really like it. It's not really my thing, but, you know, getting an ace in this thing wasn't as painful as I had been expecting, if I'm honest. Ooh, and there comes our first kill. Now, this is actually not a bad map for this tank. You've got positions to use your gun depression, and just try and rack up some damage on the bad guys and whatnot. Ooh, I get spotted there. Time to back off. There's my treacle-like reaction time. A little bit of assistance damage as well. I'm using optics on this, I believe. Vertical stabilizer, optics, and gun rammer, I think. Ooh, can we finish off this Churchill? There we go. Kill number 2. M6 over there, except I get spotted again, and this thing really doesn't pack much in the way of armour, so you do want to be a little bit careful. Go for a punt on the M6. We're actually using the same gun here, assuming he's got the top gun, this 90mm gun, but I don't penetrate the M6. Well, I do that time. The M4 improved to my right. He's having a go at this guy, but his gun sucks. Goodness knows what's supposed to be improved about it, and, well, there's kill number 3. Scoreline's 5-1, by the way. This game doesn't last very long, just a warning. Hello, IS-2, and the gun worked in this game, which is nice, and that's really my main objection to this tank. It was always about the gun. I just did not get on with it at all. I found it rather unreliable. I preferred the Comet for tier 7 mediums, personally. Panzer 4H, well, we take a pump and just keep moving. IS-2, really would like to be able to get rid of that guy because, you know, top tier heavy tank, let's be honest. Side of the turret, side of the turret, side of the turret, come on, reload. And a bounce. This is what I don't like about this gun. It's not a gun for longer ranges, let's be honest. It's a gun for close to medium range. Well, medium range is fine. The accuracy isn't amazing. The penetration's fine. 240 alpha damage is quite nice actually on a tier 7 medium tank, but oh, Jagdpanther, oh dear, this could go badly wrong, and we actually bounce on him. But he's spotted. Hopefully my allies can do something about him. I'm trying to get into the low ground to avoid him shooting me. He has 8 degrees of gun depression. There's no way he's going to be able to come over here to deal with me without exposing himself a little bit too much. Ooh, 25 TP, and one shot into him. He tracks me, and he goes into the drink. And, I mean, I guess, good night, sweet prince. Kill number 4. And KV2, I might have mocked him earlier on, but he does actually pick up the kill on the Jagdpanther, which is nice, and there's artillery, wonderful. Decide to just put my crew member back in there, let the repair kit put the tracks on. There's only 1 artillery, so I shouldn't have to worry about a second shot. And with the scoreline 11-5, we're just going to go and see if we can pick up a little bit of extra damage to finish this game off. And if we can pick up some more kills, that would be quite nice. So, what have we got left? KV2, another KV2, that artillery, and a Panzer IV-H. Speaking of the Panzer, oh hello, little Panzer, how are you today? Are you good? I hope you're well. Tracked. Wonderful. Well, hey-ho. Assistance damage, I suppose. I shouldn't really complain too much. And kill number 5. Jolly good. KV2, it's just this guy and the artillery left at this point. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get over to do anything about the KV2 in time, so I figure let's go hunting artillery. Now, if I'm going after artillery, I could be loading high explosive here, I suppose, but against the AMX-13F3, I'm not actually convinced the high explosive will do the job. 45 pen, not sure. The AMX doesn't have really obvious kind of boxy superstructure that's weak and flimsy you can pump HE into, so I stick with armor piercing. And actually end up picking up the kill. And there we go. Nice quick game, nice 6 kills. The end. So that was enough for Ace Tanker, of course. Fire for Effect, Spotter, Duelist, Bruiser, Top Gun, and a High Caliber medal. I wasn't actually expecting that to be an ace at the time. It didn't feel all that special, but hey ho, I'll take it. 2,436 damage done, 6 kills, 1,258 base experience. Must have just scraped over the ace line. I don't think that was a particularly impressive ace, but you know, I'm not going to complain. And actually that KV2 with the wrong gun came in second on our team, so hats off to him. 22 shots fired, 17 hits, 12 pens for that damage count, most of which was from relatively close range. 6 hits received, 3 penetrated, 2 didn't. Somehow the armour on that thing is not great. 1,502 assistance damage, just under 2 kilometres travelled, and with a standard account that was a 24,500 credit profit, would have been a 43,000 credit profit with a premium account. And some experience, obviously, into the bargain, but the point is, we got the Ace Tanker. There we go. There's a couple of games for you there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.